Just as women can make moves out of desperation, so can men. The one uncomfortable truth that I think men need to should know and work on is understanding how to regulate their emotions. Because oftentimes I think men have critique of women that they've chosen to marry, that in the very beginning, those issues were already there. You just didn't choose or vet properly. And she can be a good woman, a great woman, but she's just not the good, great woman for you. The compatibility isn't there. But
So true.
just as women can make moves out of desperation, so can men. And when a move out of desperation is a thinking problem, not necessarily an emotional problem, because emotions are underpinned by our thoughts, right? Our thinking produces emotion, i.e. the thinking, feeling connection. So if you don't know how to understand your emotions, i.e. emotional regulation, really is if you don't understand how to de-escalate your thinking and challenge it to change it to make it something that's constructive and functional, then you're going to produce emotions, i.e. anxiety, which then shows itself as desperation, i.e. you choosing someone that you're not compatible with. You're choosing someone that will accept you given your age, given your situation. But again, compatibility isn't there. So the thing that I would suggest men do is to learn how to regulate their emotions. And I think it also aligns with our deen. So when the Prophet ﷺ says, don't get angry, the question I would have for brothers, the challenge I would have for brothers is, what is the systematic way that you use to de-escalate your anger? How do you do it? What is the systematic way, a formula that you use for de-escalating your anger? What have you learned in terms of something you can use when you are angry? Or what can you use when you notice that you're feeling your chest getting tight, right? And you feel your face getting hot and your heart rate is starting to increase, and you know that those are signs that you're getting irritated and annoyed, and you keep going up, you're going to be angry and rageful. What's the
Most people,
method that you use to de-escalate that and keep it at irritation?
Most people would say drugs.
Yeah, and that's the reality. What men and women do is we distract ourselves with substances, comfort eating, music. We distract ourselves, and the problem, just very quickly, or even with constructive things, we distract ourselves with exercise or with yoga, right? And those things in and of themselves are not a problem. It's just how we use them. So event comes up, I distract myself with exercise or yoga. The reality is, after I get off the yoga mat, those same thoughts are going to come back. If I don't know how to regulate my emotions, then I'm not going to be able to handle it once I get in the car after I'm out of the gym from yoga or lifting weights. When those thoughts come back, I'm going to still be in the same situation I was in before I went to the gym, before I went to yoga. Same way, I have an uncomfortable emotion and I decide to comfort eat, or I decide to go and do some comfort shopping. By the time I get in the car or after I try on what I bought, an hour or two later, those thoughts are going to come back. And if you don't know how, you don't have a formula to be able to address those unhelpful thoughts that's going to produce the unhelpful emotion, that's then going to produce the unhelpful behavior that's self-sabotaging, it's problematic. You're going to get unhelpful results, i.e., the team throwing the towel at you, the team yelling at you, your wife asking for a divorce. Right. So I think the uncomfortable truth that I would say, brothers, is you got to invest in, just like you learn, you invest in getting your weight up, getting in the gym, exercising your muscles. You got to learn and get in the gym in terms of learning how to regulate your emotions and exercise that on a consistent basis. Because a lot of the issues that I see is brothers just not regulating their emotions. One last point with that. And that's a frame issue, right? When brothers say they want to maintain frame is really you just maintaining your emotions and your thinking. If you found that beneficial, join my community. Links are in the bio for a more detailed analysis of the thinking, feeling connection. It'll help you get better, not just feel better.